Well, hello, and welcome back to another podcast episode with Brittney Bundles. You are listening to the Brittney Bundles podcast, where we empower people through entrepreneurship. And today, what I want to talk about is I want to talk a little bit about living an all-in lifestyle. Living an all-in lifestyle and what that means and how we can all do that. A few days ago, I made a post on my Instagram, which is Brittney_Bundles. I also made a post on my YouTube channel at Brittney Bundles on my community tab, the exact same post going over, what an all-in lifestyle meant to me. And pretty much, just to kind of summarize that post, I did mention that there comes a time in a lot of people's lives when they decide to be all in, go all in for their family, go all in for their dreams, go all in with their purpose, go all in with their business. And a lot of times that all in mentality and lifestyle is what fuels change and also a bump toward success, if that makes sense. And I'm going to go ahead and explain a little bit further. There are so many people that are teetering on what they want for their lives and wondering why their life is not progressing at the speed that they had hoped that it would. There are a lot of people that are afraid. So it's kind of like that 1 foot in, 1 foot out mentality. It's kind of that same mentality as, you're out the house, but you're still on the porch. And so we have to decide for our lives, and no one can do this for us. We have to decide individually what we want and how hard we're going to go for it. What we want and how committed we're going to be to that process. What we want and how bad we want it. So living an all-in lifestyle means just that, putting all in. Now, when I say putting all in, and when I've said this before, some people have come to me and they've said, well, Brittney, you say put all into your business, right? And I go, yeah, be all in. And they say, but then you also say don't invest everything and put all of your eggs in one basket. And I say, yes, that's true. And you can have both of those same stances and still move towards the same goal. What I mean by that is you can live an all-in lifestyle while being strategic. Being all in doesn't mean making decisions that are not beneficial for you or making decisions that are going to put you in a position where you're in a bind and not having a backup plan or having a way to move forward if something doesn't go as planned. I talk a lot on this platform as well as on my YouTube at Brittney Bundles about the importance of having backup plans, about the importance of having multiple streams of income. So you can definitely be all in for your business and still be strategic. Meaning I'm all in for my business, but I'm still going to make sure that I have multiple streams of income. I'm still not going to limit myself to just one area of success. I'm still not going to invest my last dollar into my business if that means that I won't eat tonight or if that means that my children can't eat. So I'm still being responsible. We're still being calculated and strategic, but we are being all in to the idea of being consistent, not giving up, not allowing others' negative thoughts to infiltrate our hearts, not allowing our doubts and fears to drive our lives, but deciding to be all in and to push forward with all that we have so that we are truly giving our best each and every day. I can accept not achieving a goal, right? Because there's always chance for improvement. But one thing that it's hard for me to accept, and one thing that's a little hard to swallow, is not achieving a goal that you knew you didn't try your best at. So we're going to be talking today about living an all-in lifestyle, despite what it looks like, despite what it is. We all can decide today to be all in. So I do want to thank you all for coming to this platform. Thank you for listening and tuning in to the Brittney Bundles podcast once again. This is the Brittney Bundles podcast, where we empower people through entrepreneurship. So if any of you would like to share your journey, tips, advice, or have your business promoted or shouted out on this platform, be sure to email me at Btalks, TALKS, at yahoo.com. Go ahead and share this episode on social media. Turn up the episode in your car, especially when you're riding with someone that you feel can receive value from this message. And without further ado, we're going to get started in just a moment. Welcome back to another podcast episode with Brittney Bundles. We're happy to have you. All right. So again, today we're talking about living an all-in lifestyle despite what it looks like. And the reason that I put despite what it looks like is because a lot of times we allow our motivation to be driven by purely others' opinions. Let me explain that. So I'll paint a scenario here. Let's say you just started a business, right? And you have people that are really excited about what you're doing. And so you post on Instagram and Facebook, and you're getting lots of likes and shares and love. And you feel motivated. You feel pumped. People are under your post. Yes, you're doing something amazing. Yes, I'm so excited that you're doing this. This is exactly what we needed. And you feel motivated. You feel like you have an obligation to keep producing what people want. Okay, and then the next month comes, and you notice you still have some type of support. You still are getting comments, but not nearly as much as you received the first month. And so you're still motivated, you're still pushing, and you're still striving. And this is before you know really too much about analytics, or you're striving strictly off of the likes at this point, because that's where you're able to see the fastest results, so you think. As far as who's supporting you and who's not. Then the third month comes, and now you're noticing that you're really not getting any love under your post anymore. No one's really talking about what you're doing, what you open. No one's really saying that we need you to do this. And so now it's looking like to you and to some others that your business isn't doing as well as it should be, or as it once was 3 months ago. And so your motivation starts to shift. You still want to reach your goals, but you're not as pumped because you're not feeling like people really are craving what it is you're offering, because you're seeing a decline in likes, you're seeing a decline in comments, you're seeing a decline in people talking about what it is you're doing. So even though it looks like people are no longer supporting like they were 3 months ago, instead of sticking true to what it is you started your business for, you're starting to fall off the bandwagon. You're not posting as much anymore because in your mind you're thinking, well, who cares anyways? No one's going to like it. You're not talking about your business anymore because, okay, well, I've talked about it and no one else is really caring about what I'm saying. And so we are allowing these negative thoughts and negative seeds to infiltrate our mindset. And we're also allowing what it looks like to dictate our motivation. And so the first point that I want to touch on is no one has to approve of what you want. No one has to like or co-sign everything that you do for your business or your life. And I think that's something that a lot of us get misconstrued, going around hoping that we get likes and accolades from people, which is great. That's human nature to want to be accepted. But when the wanting to be accepted becomes the driving force of what you do, a lot of people have found themselves constantly switching with the wind, constantly having to change to please everyone. And when you're pleasing everyone, the sad reality is a lot of times you're not pleasing yourself. A lot of times you're not even pleasing God. And so we have to be very intentional and strategic on what we're doing this for. And when I say this, that can apply to anything in your life. I don't wait to get approval for the choices that I decide to make in my life. I may take advice, I'll pray on it, I'll think it over, but ultimately, God has blessed each and every one of us with free will. So you have the ability to do what it is you want to do. And the best consultant for your life, for your business, is God. Again, I'm not saying stray away from advice or don't listen to people's opinions or ideas. But I am saying that ultimately, that whole mentality of needing to get approval and clearance before we move or act on something that's going to change and impact our life for the better, or change and impact our life. And a lot of times we can't even really fully say that this is going to change our life for the better. We may hope that it will, but it's always a risk in life. But if there is something that we are wanting to do, let me phrase it this way, that we feel very strong and passionate about, I want to change the habit of waiting for clearance from everyone before we move forward. Yes, it would be great to get approval from everyone. Yes, it would be great to get accolades from everyone. But we live in the real world, and in reality, that's not always going to happen. So no one has to approve of what you want, and no one has to approve of your dreams. No one has to get your vision. No one has to approve your business plan. For you to actually decide that you're going to be committed to it and find a way to bring it to reality. Now, the second point that I want to touch on is remove negative thoughts. Let's remove negativity from our thoughts. I can sit here all day and think of 10 reasons why my business won't work next year, if I allow my mind to do that. And so what I begin to do when I notice myself getting negative thoughts and thinking of reasons why this won't work, I began to write down the reasons. Okay, Brittney, let's go. Okay, so why won't it work? I don't know if it'll work because of competition. Okay, all right. What are some other thoughts, Brittney? I don't know if it will work because of where I'm located. Okay, come on, let's keep feeding them. I don't know if it'll work because I'm lacking creativity at this moment. And so I write down a list of everything that I'm thinking and battling with inside internally. And then I combat those thoughts with truth and with positivity. So yes, there's competition, Brittney. There's always competition. But it's how you look at the competition. Being competitive doesn't have to be negative. There are people that are competing with each other negatively and holding themselves and other businesses back by doing so. So instead of competing, we're looking at now a positive spin of collaborating. Yes, we may offer the same products, but what is the difference between our business? What is different from your business and unique from your business that could also help with the collaboration and networking of other businesses? Because clients and customers like to see businesses working together. I remember in my salon days, there would be people that would come in and they would try to bash and down talk another salon. And I never included or jumped in on those conversations because that's just not my heart nor my style. And there were people that noticed that. Brittney, I've never seen a salon owner that didn't engage in negative conversation about another salon. People don't like to see messiness all the time, especially when they're looking at investing in that business. Now, they may want to sit back and gossip when there's no money on the line, when they're not looking to purchase anything or build a business relationship. But a lot of times when people are serious about partnering with your business, whether it's partnering in a way of coming to your establishment to get a service done, or whether it's partnering in the sense of buying a product, or whether it's partnering in the sense of you being their vendor, a lot of times people want to make sure that you have your integrity in check, intact. And so instead of looking at all of the reasons why this won't work and all of the reasons why something didn't work in the past, use that for your benefit. List all of the reasons why you're thinking something is not going to work, or why you're feeling negative about a certain business venture or life decision. And then challenge yourself to sit there and think about positives and ways that you can combat those issues, because sometimes we're having negative thoughts and the thoughts that we're having are regarding issues that are valid. But there's always a solution, and there's always a way to work around what you really want to achieve. How many people believe that if you really, really want something, you'll find a way to get it? You'll find a way to get it. Whether that means you have to research day and night, whether that means that you're on your knees praying about it constantly. And then I don't even want to put the idea out there that you only should pray because you want something. But I do want to say, when you develop a relationship with God, you do realize that a lot of things that you want become accessible for you, become accessible to you. That's one of the benefits of living your life right. Not saying you're going to get everything you want, but I'm saying that is a benefit of living your life right and having that relationship with God. But ultimately, what we want, we strive to get. So a lot of times when I see business owners start businesses and then they quit, start businesses and then they're no longer interested, I have to ask myself, were they really serious? And you have to ask yourself, was I really serious? Because again, what you really want, you find a way typically to make it work. It may not be the way that everyone else found to make it work. It may not be the most conventional way. It may not be the most traditional way, but you find a way. The third point that I want to touch on is give it your all. So how many of us have truly decided to give what it is we're doing our all? Or are we half-stepping it? Are we deciding to pick up our business ideas when it's convenient? Are we deciding to pick up our business plans when it's trending again? Are we deciding to go all in when we get upset at our job? I remember when I first was thinking about starting my business and I was at work, I was writing down ideas at my desk. And then I would go home and write ideas down in my living room. And I remember that when days would go good at work, I would forget completely, all about my business plan. I would put that notebook up. I wouldn't take it out. And I would be like, okay, I can see myself staying here. And again, there's nothing wrong with working 9 to 5s. And I say again, because I've mentioned that in a lot of videos on my YouTube channel at Brittney Bundles, as well as on this podcast. But however, for my life, I did not want to have to work a 9 to 5. I wanted that to be an option. I wanted to be able to be an at-home mom. And I didn't want to have to wait for anyone else's income to give me that. I wanted to be able to provide my own source of income and financial security where I had the option to stay home or not. And so I remember, like I mentioned, that I wouldn't feel as driven toward my business plan and to actually launching my business when days at work would be good. And so a lot of us, I'm noticing that pattern. When you're having a good day and when everything's going well, we're not thinking about our businesses sometimes. But it's when something happens at work and we're afraid that we may get terminated, or we're close to leaving that job, or something happens in our personal life where we're needing more money, and then we decide to go ahead and be all in for that period and that season of our life. And then when things start looking up again, we kind of are shying back away. But it has to be something that's going to be consistent if you want to see true results. Being consistent. So you have to decide to either give it your all or not. And if you're not going to give it your all, then don't be surprised when your business is not doing what it is you have intended it to do. Because whether you see it or not, there are some people that come to me and they say, wow, I would love to do what you do. You record a video and you just get paid. There's a lot that goes behind being an entrepreneur. It's more than just recording a video and getting paid. It's more than recording a podcast and getting paid. It's more than just even selling hair and getting paid. There's a lot that goes into making sure that every month you have enough revenues to sustain not only your personal life, but your business ventures as well. There's a lot that goes into making sure that you come with consistent content that keeps others interested. There's a lot that goes into making sure that you are strategizing what you put out, when you put out, and how you put it out. There's a lot that goes into managing your money because you're not getting a guaranteed paycheck every month. A lot of entrepreneurs aren't, or every week, because your business isn't guaranteed to make a certain amount. Now, there are ways that you can structure your business to have a certain amount put aside for your check if you want to do something like that. But even still, you still have to be able to have the capital to do that. And whether you're getting it from credit or whether you're getting it from your sales and revenue, there's still a structure that goes into being able to even have that luxury. And I say luxury because a lot of entrepreneurs don't have a guaranteed paycheck every 2 weeks or every month from their business. It is a luxury to know exactly how much you're going to get. So I did do a video on my YouTube channel at Brittney Bundles on how I pay myself as an entrepreneur. So if you're interested, go over to that channel and check out some of those videos. But giving it your all, have you decided to give it your all, or are you still teetering on whether you really want to be committed to this or whether you don't? Have we decided to be all in, or are we still just dipping our toe in? When are you going to decide to be all in? And if you're not going to decide to be all in again, do we have the right to be surprised at the declining results of our business? And there are times that you give it your all and your business still may decline. But like I said in the beginning of the podcast, I can accept trying a formula and it not working, because I'll try to, switch up the formula. But I don't want to accept not even trying my best. So are you going to give it your all? The fourth point is focus. So how many of us are focused every day on what it is we need to do to move our life to the next level? Or how many of us are easily distracted by everything else that's going on in our life? I can tell you that there are a lot of things that go on in my life, lots of things, but I have decided to stay focused. So no matter what I'm going through, no matter what's happening around me, I'm still committed to making sure that I reach my goals. So focus. How bad do you want it? How committed are you to the process? How all in are you going to be? Focus. And then the last point that I want to touch on is continue moving forward. So there are a lot of people that have lost their motivation, like we touched on a little bit earlier in this podcast. They've lost their focus. They've lost their direction. And they're sitting back waiting for everyone else to tell them when they should start again. If I sat back and waited for the people that were most closest to me to support everything that I did for my business, I would still be waiting. If I sat back and waited for all the accolades that I thought that I was going to get from anyone, family or friends, associates, I would still be waiting. The truth is, a lot of times people don't support what's not popular. Now I'll say it again. A lot of times people don't support what's not popular. And when you just start a business, a lot of times you're not going to be popular because you just started. Now you may have a reputation for what you've done in the past or for yourself personally, or even on a business level. But you may not have that reputation for your business because the business just started. And a lot of times it takes time and works to be able to build up a reputation behind your brand. And so, like I mentioned, a lot of people don't support what's not popular. But is that going to be your deciding factor as to if you decide to keep moving forward with your dreams or not? Is that going to be what gets you up in the morning? Is that going to be what makes you feel fulfilled? And if it is, we have to challenge ourselves to change our mentality, because people's opinions and people's thoughts shouldn't have that much bearing on our lives. Again, yes, it's great to get support. Yes, it feels great to get accolades. Yes, it feels great for people to want you to succeed. But in reality, you may not have that all the time. And so that's the only thing that you're working towards. If that's the only thing that you're working for, then you have to ask yourself, are you really in it for the business and for the value that you want to bring to the community or to others or to the world? Or are you in it because you want people to be proud of you? And you can be in it for both. But when you allow others' opinions and others' doubts and negativity and others' lack of support to drive you into an area of complacency, or to drive you into an area of doubt, that's when a lot of the issues take place. A lot of the issues regarding lack of consistency, lack of motivation, discouragement, doubt. So today I am going to live an all-in lifestyle like I have been. Does that mean that I know the destiny of my business, or does that mean that I know for sure, for certain, what my life holds going forward? I don't. But I'm okay with that, because I know that each and every day I'm putting my all into something that's positive and that's impactful. Regardless of what it looks like now, regardless of what it is now, I'm looking at the bigger picture and I'm striving to reach my full potential, fulfill my purpose, and help others along the way. So I hope that you all decide to live an all-in lifestyle today as well, and every day. As always, I do not want the conversation to end. If you do have any comments or any input at all, whether you'd like to be on the show, whether you'd like to have your business promoted, be sure to reach out again to my email, which is btalks, that's BTALKS at yahoo.com. Be sure to follow me on social media. I'm on Facebook at Brittney Bundles, that is Brittney, Brittney, Bundles, Bundles. I'm on Instagram at Brittney_Bundles, Twitter Brittney Bundles, and YouTube Brittney Bundles. Until next time, I'll talk to you all in the next podcast episode.